Hello and welcome back to Bridals We Sort Out YouTube channel. In today's tutorial, we are going to learn how to cut this beautiful palazzo pants trouser. If you have subscribed to this channel, I want to say thank you and welcome back. And if you are yet to subscribe, I welcome you to this channel and I urge you to please subscribe to this channel. Let's keep this channel growing, and always like, make comments, share, and also press on the notification bell to get notified anytime I upload new video. So let's get started. Now I have my fabric folded into two. We are cutting the front first. The edge will serve as our waist, while the next measurement will be our hip line. And then for my hip line, I measured 8 inches with the mind that 2 inches will serve as our band, so the band is not included. So I have my waist hip measurement marked out 8 inches. Next measurement to be considered is our crouch measurement. I think I will have to do some little calculation for you to understand this well. So for our hip, we have 47 inches as our hip. So what we will do is you divide your hip with 4. So as we have 47 as our hip, so that's 47 divided by 4. I got 11.75. So I then approximate it to 12, and so that's the 12 I marked out as my crouch. The next measurement to be considered is our knee length, which is 21 inches. To get this is the length of your trouser divided by 2 that will serve as your knee length. And then the last measurement is our hem length, and I then added 2 inches to it so as to have a fold at the hem. Permit me to recap on all that I just said. So I said our head serves as our waistline, and then the next line is our hip line, which is 8 inches. Now I am trying to draw my tape rule up, and then I have at the end I will have my waist as 10 inches because this is a plus size. The hip measurement, the hip circumference is 47, and so that's why I'm using 10 inches as our hip line. So I have 2 inches. 2 inches will serve as our band, and the next measurement I made was the hip line, which is 8 inches, and then my crouch line, which is 12 inches, and then the next one is our knee length, which is 21 inches, and then the last line, which is our hem length, which is 40 inches. I then added 2 inches to fold our hem at the edge. So let's proceed. The first to be considered will be our crouch, and here we'll be imputing our lap circumference on it. Our lap circumference is 28 inches, and then we'll divide this lap into 2, which is 14. So I'm making a mark of 14 on my fabric. The next thing we are going to do is divide this 14 into 2 so as to get the center of our trouser. So 14 divided by 2 is 7. I'll make a mark of 7 inches on the crouch, and then do the same on all other parts. I mean the nail length, I'll mark out 7, and on my hem line I'll mark out 7. After I'd marked all these things out, I will make a connect of the lines. And why are we doing this? This is just to get a center for a perfect pencil trouser. Do you understand? Now we'll move to our waistline and then mark out 1 inch. And this 1 inch, we are marking it out so that we will have this female coffee shape. Do you understand? So now, after we have done that, we will now impute our waist circumference. And our waist circumference for this tutorial is 34. 34 divided by 4 is 8.5. I'll mark out my 8.5 and then add 2 inches as sewing allowance. Now for my trouser, I do deliberately add 2 inches extra as my sewing allowance so as to be on the safe side. So after I'd done this, the next thing we'll do is come to our hip line and then impute our hip circumference. Our hip circumference is 47, and then I'm going to be dividing this 47 by 4, which is 11.75. I marked out 11.75 and then added 2 inches allowance to it, and then I come back to my crouch line, and then to that 14 inches we had initially, I added 1 inch. This is to make that cuff at that crotch, to make a cuff at that crouch area. And then now we'll move to our nail length. On our knee, we are going to impute our nail circumference, which is 22. 22 divided by 2 is 11. So now that we have 11, we'll share the 11 inches to these 2 sides, so that will be 5.5. so on the right side I will mark, you remember we have a center, the center we marked out initially, which was the 7 inches that I marked on the crouch to the nail and then on the hem. So now I'm going to share the 11 inches on the 2 sides, the right side and the left side. So now I have 5.5, so I will mark out 5.5 on the right and then mark out another 5.5 on the left. That is 11 altogether. Remember I said that we made that center so that we'll have a perfect shape, a perfect pencil shape. Now we move to our arm length, and here we are going to be imputing our ankle circumference. On our ankle we have 14, so the 14 divided by 2, that's 7. And just like we did to the knee length, we are going to be sharing the 7 inches to the 2 sides, which is 3.5. I'm going to share it to the right and to the left. And then right now we are going to be making a connect of all our markouts. Right now we have everything connected, and remember this is a palazzo trouser. If we are cutting a pencil trouser, you have it perfectly drafted out, but because it's a palazzo trouser, we are going to be making some manipulation. All that you need to do is on the left and the right side of the arm length, you are going to add 2.5 inches. 2.5 to 3 inches will be fine, but here in this project I'm making use of 2.5, so I added 2.5 to each side at the arm length and then make a connect to my crouch line. I hope you can see what I'm doing. I drew the 1 inch. I didn't add anything to the upper part. It's only the arm length that I added 2.5 on each side to each side, and then make a connect to the crouch. Same thing I'm going to do to the other side also, as you can see me do. So now we'll make the connect, and here we have our palazzo trouser well drafted out. So as it is now, we just did a 2-in-1 drafting. The first one we did before adding the 2.5 inches to the 2 sides was a perfect pencil trouser. So the next thing we are going to do is make a 1 inch mark on the center part of the front, and then we are going to make a slant from the side to that 1 inch I draw down. This is for the waist to rest well at the front. So after we make that slant, we are not going to cut it. We are not going to be cutting it out, but we'll cut the other sides out. Reason why we will not cut it out, because we'll still make use of it for the back parts of our trouser. So let's make a cut of our front parts. I hope we understand all that we did. Right now we have our front neatly cut. We are going to proceed to the back part of the trouser, and then right now I have my fabric folded into two, just like I did to the front, and then we are going to place the front on the back as you see me do. And then after we have done this, the first thing we are going to do is come to the edge of our back panel. I hope you can see what I'm doing. And then remember that we slanted our front by 1 inch the other time. Now for the back, we are going to be adding 1 inch to the measurement. Okay, let me try and let you understand it. We add 42 inches folded for our front. Now we are going to be folding 43 inches as our length. We are going to be having 43 inches as our length. Why? Because at the top we are going to be adding 1 inch to it. I hope we can see what I'm drawing out. So now this 1 inch is to replace what we will cut out, the slant we will cut out at the front. So now that I've extended my back part with 1 inch, I'll come to the side of the back on the back also. Sorry. Okay, I think I've gotten myself now. We are going to add 1 inch to the side. We are going to extend. I hope you can see my hand. We are going to extend it by 1 inch and then make a connect. Now the slant we made at the front, we are going to cut it out, and then the 1 inch we added to the back, we replace it. And then for the side extension that I made, this is to serve as our zip allowance. Yes, it will serve as our zip allowance. To my trouser, I'm not going to add that to it. So that extension that I made at the side will serve as my zip allowance. So now remember that it was from the center that from the side that we made a slant down to the center of our front panel. Now to our back panel, we are going to make a slant from the center down to the side of the back. I trust you understand what I said. Now at the crotch area, we are going to be extending it by 1.5 inch for the back. I hope you can see what I'm doing. So we'll extend it by 1.5 inches, and then we'll make a cuff to form another crouch for the back, just like you see me do. Can you see? We'll just make that cuff and draw it up to the waistline, as you can see me do. Now at the knee length, we are going to extend it by 1 2. Remember, it's the back we are cutting, so we are making the addition for our back. Of course, the back is always wider than the front. Now at the hem length also, we add 1 inch to the hem length, and then we'll make a connect of all, and that is all to the back. So right now I'm going to be connecting all the lines together, as you can see me do. Before we proceed to cutting, I want to make the joining of the, I want to draw a line at the hem, also the hem of our back, so that we'll have it equal with the front. I hope you can see what I'm doing. It's just for us to have it everything well drawn out, so that we can make the right cuts. Can you see what I'm doing? So after this, we'll cut it. And yes, from that nail side, I'm going to be connecting it to the crotch area with my pattern master, and then we'll make a cut of everything. But then I'm starting with the waist, with the manipulation we did at the waist. I mean the slants that we did. Sorry guys, my I didn't cover the place well, but then what I did was cut that front parts that we left uncut the other time, and then slanted the back also, and that was what I did. Okay, so after I'd done this, we'll cut every other things that needed to be cut, just like you see me do. Now guys, this is basically how to cut a palazzo pant trouser. Now for the front, I want us to put pockets. Yes, we should have pockets on our trouser, and so right now we are going to be cutting our pockets. Now on the waist, from the waist, you measure 7 inches down. Can you see what I just did? And then at the width part, we'll measure 2 inches, and then make a curve from that 6 inches to the 2 inches that I cut at the width part. Can you see what I did? Yeah, so it must be curved because you know it's a female pant, and so we'll cut it out. So the next thing we are going to cut now is our pockets. Now I have a 2 pieces of 9 by 8 inches fold. Like I have 2 pieces of 9 by 8 inches fold of my fabric. So right now I opened it, and then I'm going to be placing the front panel, the front part of our trouser on it. You know, I cut out a 6 by 2 inches out for our pockets, and so I'm going to be placing it on the new fabric that I cut out on the pockets, and then make that curve shape. I'm doing this so that we'll have it equal, and then we'll make a cutout. So right now we have our pocket, we have the front parts cut out, we have the back parts well cut out, and then our pocket. The next thing we'll do is proceed to sewing our trouser. Now I have all the trouser fixed. Can you see how beautiful it is and so neat? Now I cut my band. I cut the band. It was cut on fold by 2.5 inches. Then I make a good press, and then I'm going to be sewing it around the trouser. It has a zip. Yes, we are going to be fixing a zip to it, and after fixing the zip, I'm going to make a turn up at the hem part of the trouser, and then I'll come back to show you the outcome of the trouser. And here we are with the outcome of the trouser. Can you see how neatly sewn it is? Our pockets, then the other pockets, the front parts. Can you see it? The band so neatly fixed, and then the zip at the back. Can you see how beautiful our palazzo trouser is? Guys, we have come to the end of this video. Thank you for staying true to the end of this video. Like, I really appreciate you all. If you are here to subscribe, kindly subscribe, like, share, and make comments on the video. So guys, see you in my next video. Bye.